Hey YouTube! Yeah, so I think my live streams, I'm just going to have half a bottle of wine rather than a whole bottle. I think that's the trick. More fun that way. It means I can wake up in the morning and stuff. Yeah, so here is... I think I showed this last night. I only picked it up yesterday, or that's my pal Ronnie's. This is an old Hofner. Quite a basic level, like probably the cheapest electric guitar they did at the time. I'm thinking probably late 60s, maybe. Obviously I could have looked it up, but that's the fun. I don't want to ruin it for Ronnie to look up and find out what it is he's got. So this metal plate here is not meant to be there. It's just a metal plate that someone's put on because I think it to make it look cool. Doesn't do anything. It looks quite good though. I think maybe someone's cut it out of a silver tray or something like that. It's kind of like, doesn't look like normal metal. Got the original knobs. It's got the Hofner pickup in it. I think basically, to be honest, I think Ronnie kind of bought the pickup and got the rest of the guitar free. So this kind of reminds me a little bit of the Watkins Rapier sort of thing, where it's like budget guitars used to get back then are not like what you get now. You know, now even if you buy, you know, the cheapest Strat or Telecaster, it's kind of got, it's that easy to find parts for them. You know, look on eBay, you know, look up, you know, machine heads and bridges and all these things. You can buy them easily for a couple of quid each now. So nobody, because back in these days you could only buy Fender ones, and even then I don't think they sold them separately, so you had to make your own or, you know, set up machinery. So you end up with crazy tuners that are a little bit off the... Why is the light so bad? Is it better if because that light there's not on? This daylight thing. Yep. I don't know if you can really see them, but they've kind of got, you know, you get the Clussons with the slot head. It's got the slot head, but it's also got a hole drilled through it, apart from that one, which doesn't. I think someone might have made it in machine shop. But, you know, so it's like cool things. The neck is really nice. It seems much... It's the neck you always look at first, but it's very hand-sanded-y. Looking around a bit here, kind of almost looks handmade, to be honest. The neck. But the neck's the most important bit. Yep. Then we've got what I'm assuming is a humbucker. It might just be a single coil under the cover. I'm thinking if I stick a magnet... I don't know, that's all covered in... filings, I'm not bothered putting that on. So I'm not sure whether it's actually a humbucker or whether it just looks like one. The mini humbucker, it's got the Hofner thing on it. Interestingly, it's not routed for a pickup, this guitar. So that pickup is literally sitting flat on the body of the guitar, completely unadjustable. There's nowhere for it to go down to. So it's basically, it's kind of on the bottom of it, it's got two wee tiny flaps that are... so that it's kind of the scratch plates holding it down, but that's it. There is no height adjustment. It's sitting flat on the surface of the body. Does about it there. Quite a big cavity. A trapeze bridgey thing. Is that what it's called? A trapeze. Yeah. So this guitar, the pots that were in it, which are not in it anymore, were very funky looking things. I've never seen ones quite like that before. So I don't know, hi-fi components or something like that, but. I managed, they were totally ram solid. I managed to get the volume one working. Might be worth some money if it's, well, I assume it's working. It's freed up. The other one, the actual shaft's broken in it, the tone control. So I was actually going to sellotape them to the inside of the guitar if anyone ever really wanted the original ones, but I mean, why would you? If you remind me, Ronnie, you can have them, put them in the bag. But I mean, do you want the old parts that don't work? It's like, I've got the here's your car, yeah, it's like totally, it's all original apart from the exhaust pipe, but I've got the old broken one if you can have that with it. Like, not really much point in that. It's not holding tune fantastically just now, but that's only because I've just put strings on it. Also slightly questionable intonation because, well, I've not actually reset it. It's moving about all over the place. I think someone has had a go at making this guitar into a guitar at some point. If you know what I mean, it doesn't have that. You know, a lot of these guitars, when you get, you get the impression that maybe somebody never really tried to set it up. Whereas I think that someone's had a go at this one because it's actually pretty well. It's not badly done. I've made a few mistakes. I'd say that I never actually bothered turning it on without an earth wire. I figured, nah, you want an earth wire, so I put one in. Basically, all I had to do was run a cable. Actually, this big metal plate is now an earth plate, so I've got a cable running into that, and then I've got, if you don't know if you can see there, I've got the end of the wire running up round a bit that I filed down on the bridge, so that actually it gets through the paint, 'cause it doesn't contact through the paint. So it's kind of, that's what that's there for. But it's earthed. As was happened with a lot of these guitars, the main struggle I've got playing it doesn't have dots on the head of the fingerboard. So it's like, for some reason, I mean, I don't even think I look at the dots, but as soon as you take them away, I'm suddenly like, I have absolutely no idea what fret that is. I can look there and see it's the 7th. But I mean, I was just like, I don't know, something less than 12, more than 5, you know, it's kind of... Bit of reverb on. Not miles away with intonation, just like where the dirty mark was with the bridge, because the bridge is completely floating. It's actually quite an expensive looking bridge. I don't know whether it's original or not, but most of the time these are kind of made of, you know, just wood or plastic or something. This one seems to be made of milled. It kind of looks like someone's made it. Maybe a little bit like machine. Maybe that's how they were made. You know, it's like literally milled with someone with a lathe kind of thing, one at a time. But I mean, the action's not bad. How's the truss rod? Not bad, could do with a wee bit of a turn, but another thing that's happened is I was going to change the neck angle because the pickup's very, very close. Also, the bridge is low as it goes. I think the neck's been glued in. I took the neck bolts out and it was like, pure it wasn't moving at all. And it's like, there is what looks like maybe, I think maybe someone's, for better sustain, they've made it into a set neck. Quite a common thing to do, actually, with more so with your old. I haven't seen any of them because I think they've probably been binned by now. But used to see them, you know, converting my cheap Japanese Les Paul bolt-on neck into a real Gibson by gluing the neck in, and it's like, that just means you can't adjust it anymore ever. It's like, don't do that. But I mean, I couldn't believe it. The pickup sounds wonderful. Even the capacitor that was on it was a crazy thing. It was a value of no idea, but it actually worked. It's really good, whatever that capacitor is. It's got a lovely... Just playing to the orange TH30. I do have a reverb pedal on, but nothing else. I was expecting the Delamo fuzz pedal would have been out by now because it kind of makes... I'm putting this not really into the... my category of quirky guitars. This is kind of maybe more at the Dan Electro end of the quirky guitars. Quirky being basically shit, but sounds quite good with a fuzz pedal, or if you're Jack White kind of thing, you know, the old Japanese ones you get, which are kind of not a million miles away from this, but the principles, this is like a better built one. I mean, this is a better guitar than a Watkins Rapier. Also, I mean, using this, it's got 10s on it. I'm glad Ronnie chose 10s, not 9s, but I mean, back in the day it was 14s and 26s and stuff you used, not normal. Not what we call as normal. You didn't bend strings. You bend strings on a guitar like this. But I mean, I think that pickup sounds absolutely wonderful. I mean, it is very close to the strings, but... I I think it is a humbucker. I think so. Bit of rat pedal, see what happens. I've worked out how to navigate without using the dots on the edge of the fingerboard. What you do is I'm kind of looking at there in the neck, so I can see my fingers on my periphery vision, but I can't actually see the fact that there's no dots. Therefore, I can find things a little bit better. That's what I hear playing on the guitar, like this. I wish I'd used the rat pedal for that, so I'm stuck with the one pickup. This can't be looked though, can it? No, I need to look at it. I need to work it. Ah! I was going to like to put a little bit in the bass, but I was going to put a new bass cube. Psychedelic. That Colourama fuzz pedal is kind of for that though. But because it's microphone, that's why it sounds a bit this. I might have had the rat pedal on at the same time actually. Yeah, I think that was probably what was doing it. Actually still sounds in tune. I think maybe I was just playing notes badly. Quite a lot of fun. I can see a use for it. I can see it again. It's one of those ones that I can see in far out bands. This is sort of one where you get like the you know, the lead singer kind of plays the guitar for a couple of songs and just has one to look cool. Something like this would be wonderful. I'm quite liking just having a guitar. I don't know if I've ever had a guitar that's just got a neck humbucker before. That's pretty cool. Not really missing in here. It's not really sounded particularly, oh, I shattered the bridge pickup. That's fine. To be honest, I think if you were going to have one pickup, probably maybe better with the neck one. I don't know. I suppose it's louder. Like in a purely practical sense. Like if you know the wee travel guitars you get, the wee kids ones have got like a speaker built on them. It should be a neck pickup. Get as much volume out of that as you can. But this is from a different era. But actually quite well built. Like design-wise, a bit Dan Electro-y in that sense. Actually, Ronnie had another one of these. If you go back a couple of months, basically like a modern one. It had P90s in it, and it was kind of satin black. And I think it was a Hofner. Was it a Vox? I think it was a Hofner. Basically, it looked very similar to this, but it kind of looked wrong because it kind of looked like a sort of nu metal version, whereas this doesn't have. Okay, it's all black, but it doesn't have the nu metal thing. It's got this sort of quirky, you know, cool, the sort of band that's got a Hammond organ player or something like that, you know what I mean? They all wear tie-dye clothes, kind of this sort of thing, and you have it running through, you see a mighty fuzz pedal through lots of effects. I mean, the neck on it, I mean, that's the most important bit. It's great. Weight-wise, it's getting towards being a real guitar. Rather than being a kind of toy. More of a guitar than a rapier is. Similar sort of levels to Dan Electro or the reissued Dan Electro, where it's kind of, yep, everything's there. It's kind of it's a bit simple, instead of having a bridge with saddles, you've just got a piece of metal, but it's in the right place, so it does it. If you want it adjusted, and even the action on it's not bad. It's fine. But I mean, to be honest, it plays and sounds far, far better than I expected to when I got given it yesterday. I was like, just expecting another one. I think he's sold it now, so I'm allowed to mention. Was it a Futurama? No, the Futurama's the one I've got. It was a red one Ronnie had. At one point he tried to sell it to me for like 50 quid, and it was like, what, for a 60s guitar? That sounds amazing. I've seen it before. I was like, have I? And I looked up my videos and I saw it and I could see my face and I went, oh, that's right. No, I don't want it. It was really cool looking. This is much more of a guitar. Back on. See you later.